A modern version of the discredited grassroots
In case you're curious, I'm listening to Timcast IRL in the background.
Ron Paul has come out and said the CIA killed JFK. RFK Jr. in third place for the presidential candidacy right now, or not the candidacy, in third place to be president.
I think that'll do.
He's gonna win. Says the CIA that killed his dad and his uncle. You're not convincing anybody.
What do I?
We're not playing that game. Here's a possible, the actual video, I think, that may represent or that may give credence to the idea of a second shooter. It's from July 16th, so it's been a while now. Man, it's been almost 2 weeks. Was there a second Trump shooter? New acoustic evidence. This is a viral video. I don't know if they have the video actually in here. Apparently, the ladder was not used by the shooter to get on the roof. And this was known right away that he climbed into an air conditioner or something. But this is what I was referring to. Excuse me. That the prominent theory is based on waveform. I gotta tell you how cool the science is. The PhD guy looks at a waveform. So, if you're not familiar with what a waveform is, you can download Audacity or Premiere, load a sound file, and then you see a visual representation of the sound waveform. And you can play it, and a little bar moves through. Notice, here's a really good example. You ever see the clack in a movie when they're like, scene 51, take 2, and they go clack? That is so that they can synchronize the video and the audio. What we do when we're producing videos is we clap. Whenever we have audio recording and video recording separate, you want to clap or clack, whatever. And what you do is, you pull the video up, you pull the audio up, the waveform, and you can see a spike. It looks like these waves, and then right when you clap, a straight line, because it's hitting the maximum threshold. Then, you look at the video to right where the clap happens, and you put them together. And that's how you synchronize audio and video. With this waveform stuff, you can actually clap, and then you will, depending on the echo of the room, if it's dead, like, we've got sound, this room's got a bunch of soundproofing in it. If you're in like a canyon, someone will clap, you can film them clap, and then when you hear the second clap, you can look at the waveform, count the amount of time, know the speed of sound, then calculate the size of the canyon. How cool is that? Same thing works for bullets.
How neat is that?
The guy says, there are some shots here that are out of sync with the other shots that have a different time signature, indicating a different distance. I don't know what that means. It may not mean a second shooter. Second shooter may be a law enforcement sniper. I don't think it's unreasonable then to be like, maybe.
Chiron, on your mat.
But when the media rushes out to try and claim never happened, the FBI director rushes at full speed to claim Trump. Maybe he was not even shot. Democrat talking point. Maybe the bullet went somewhere else, who knows? They're trying to diminish the story because it benefits them. A week after Trump nearly dies, Joe Biden drops out of the race. I wonder if the plan was Trump dies, their plan, wasn't they talking about powerful political elites, special interests? It could be corporate, it could be a U.S. adversary perhaps, it could be a deep state, intelligence agents that are rogue operators. But the plan was Trump dies, news shocks the nation. Right before the RNC, they then say Iran did it, we have to go to war. Then Biden drops out, changing the news cycle, and you get a choice between
trying to manipulate us into war. That's what they do.
War or that didn't happen. So I suppose things may be different now. Look at what they're doing with the Democrat nomination, and I gotta tell you, while it certainly feels like they're winging it, I gotta tell you, my friends, if you think this is where it all just stops, and your plan has fallen apart, you're wrong. Joe Biden was not on the ballot.
Get on your mask.
We all were like, what? How? Why? And they said it's because the convention is taking place after. Democrats said, we're going to hold a virtual roll call to appoint our nominee, to vote on our nominee. That way they have enough time to get on the ballot. Just in time for Kamala Harris to be sworn in to to be chosen out of the electoral process. How did it work out so well for them? I quits. Now they go, well, we have the roll call, I guess. We have to hit Kamala. Everything about it, though, is these sort of like, Kamala's such a great dancer, Gen Z's gonna vote for her. Oh, shut up. You know what they're gonna do? The HAVV story, here's my theory. My hypothesis. It's not mine, actually. Someone chatted it. The reason why we're seeing so many voter registrations in Texas and in Missouri and other places is that someone said the anomalous data is coming out of university areas. So the hypothesis then would be someone is looking up university databases for college students, not registered, and they are registering on their behalf. Then they're going to mass produce universal mail-in votes, give them out to young people. Then they're going to fill them out through ballot harvesting or other nefarious means, but probably just ballot harvesting. Knock on a door and say, fill it out. Then Kamala Harris gets a massive outpouring of youth vote. They're going to say, see, we told you, she's the meme queen, and Gen Z loves her. That'll be the narrative. I am not confident Republicans will do anything about it. So, my friends, I will wrap it up there. We'll wrap up this segment, but for those that are watching live, stick around. We're going to read your super chats, and then we're going to talk about Mr. Beast. These allegations are huge, man. It's not just Hollywood. The industry is protecting child predators. So we'll close these out here, and we're going to get into the... Look, this is basically Mr. Beast confirming that transgender co-star Chris Tyson was involved in some illicit stuff. Here's what gets crazy. There's a photo of... let's just call it a lewd drawing of a child on the wall. And it's in a Mr. Beast video. Interesting. I wonder if Mr. Beast is only coming out now because Mr. Beast is in it. But I don't know. We'll talk about that in the next segment. And for those that are, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends.
Or maybe
That
Mr.
segment will be
Beast
coming
is
up
just
at,
27
4
years
p.m. on this
old
channel,
and doesn't
and,
really
we'll see
know what's going on.
For
More
everybody
money than
else, we will
sense.
grab some super chats before we read the Mr. Beast
That
news.
happens too.
What do we have here? RUNE says, Tim, take what you know about how Democrats
worth
are
like
doing
$30
things now
billion.
and go review the history of other Democrat actions in the last
Something
100 years.
like that.
No difference.
Chiron, get on your mat. Get there, Atlas.
Austin AOK
Yeah,
says he
yeah.
never expressly said I'm suspending my campaign. He's still technically in. They are seeing if Harris gains more popularity to switch over. I don't think so. I don't think so. Noah Sanders says, Tim, I'd love to provide and serve my seltzers in your election party. Not looking to sell anything, just want to provide a tasty and natural alcoholic seltzers for guests and the audience. Send a message to Ian on X. He may or may not get to it, but send a message to Ian, and that's the best way to get in touch with us. Anytime I am drinking a delicious drift, non-alcoholic seltzer. Grid says 5150 is police call sign for crazy person.
Yep.
Indeed it is. To 5150 someone, it's to involuntarily commit them.
Chiron,
All
get
right.
on your mat. On your mat.
Just because I'm free, says Tim,
Get
what
up
do you
there,
think
Atlas.
would be the response if
Stay.
Kamala wins and there are millions of more votes than voters and the Supreme Court refuses to hear the case?
Stay, Atlas.
I think how civil conflict is. I have no idea. I think the likely scenario is just social disorder. A breakdown. If Kamala wins, red states start declaring sanctuary and sovereignty and start disobeying the federal. I think if Trump wins, same thing with the Alright. He says, Tim, thanks for reading my super chat. My company is NAI Chase Commercial. My name is Rick Gonzalez.
Atlas,
Atlanta.
lay down.
Recently got our building, which is a historic building, to make changes and renovations in a year. I've done this several times. It is frustrating, my friend.
Lay down,
It's not a
Atlas.
business, I'll tell you that.
Lay down.
Immortal Legend
Lay
says the
down.
other play with the attempt on Trump was
Lay
gun
down.
confiscation. Brought up during congressional hearings. Disagree.
You know exactly what I'm telling you
Strong
to do.
disagree.
Lay down.
They'd certainly
Stay.
use it and espouse
Stay.
what they always espouse, but I don't think that was a big play. I think it was just a benefit to them if they were use, but there's nothing stopping them from using that argument right now, saying he got a gun and he tried to kill the president. I don't think that's it. I do believe they want to confiscate guns, and I do believe they will utilize that. I don't think the plan. I think that was just ancillary. John Grossenbacher, state representative, says, "I will tell you that Dems at the state level are panicking, but to the public they support."
Stay, Atlas.
Okay.
Jay Kohler says, "As soon as Mr. B guy went trans, I called it." I believe you did. A lot of people were basically saying this guy is going to turn out to be a groomer or something. Let's jump to this Mr. Beast story because this is massive. Mr. Beast addresses the Chris Tyson scandal, saying, "I'm disgusted," and saying that he has removed Tyson from the company. My friends, this appears to be confirmation from Mr. Beast that he has witnessed this behavior that Chris Tyson was accused of, to the point where he says he's disgusted and has fired the individual. I don't know what else you say to that. Mr. Beast has confirmed that a member of his staff, a co-star, the transgender Chris Tyson, was grooming children. This is shocking stuff. One of the biggest YouTube channels, the biggest YouTuber, hundreds of millions of views per video. I want to be careful for legal reasons, and I want to make sure we're being careful. I want to know it's true. But Mr. Beast coming out after these allegations saying, "What I have seen is disgusting."
If you want to break the YouTube platform,
Mr. Beast says they've seen
I'm not
nothing.
to tell you otherwise.
I think Mr. Beast confirmed that Chris Tyson was grooming children. There's another video too. Let me pull this up. Another victim came out. I'm gonna pull this up from. Let me see if I can find Drama Alert here. Drama Alert, of course, has been covering the story, and obviously due to personal involvement of Keemstar. But there is a video of another person coming out saying that they're a victim of Tyson. Here we go. I got it right here. And we'll play this in a second. First, I'll read a little bit of the news before I play this man talking about how he was victimized. Child. Hollywood Reporter says YouTube star Mr. Beast has addressed the grooming allegations made against his longtime collaborator, Ava Chris Tyson, saying that he was disgusted by the claims and has taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company by channel and any association with Mr. Beast.
Chris Tyson needs
Mr.
to
Beast,
be
whose
in
real
an
name is Jimmy
asylum.
Donaldson, responded.
Because
we
he's
have
crazy.
The link, we'll just pull. Here. He says, "Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company and any association with Mr. Beast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further action based on their findings." Excuse me. I don't think Mr. Beast wrote this. I think his PR firm wrote it.
Yeah, it's writing.
His PR firm wrote it, but there is some interesting legal
I don't mean he's stupid, I just mean that he
issues here.
doesn't write that
He says,
complex.
"I am disgusted. Really? I have become aware of the serious allegations, and I am disgusted. I've seen enough online." That's confirmation. Let me explain. If someone comes, we've dealt with this here at Timcast. Someone will say something like, "Hey, this person did bad thing," and I'll be like, "Dude, you saying person did bad thing isn't enough for us to legally." There have been people who have been like, "Person did bad thing outside of work," and who doesn't get anything. Employees have protections. You can't just claim a person did a thing, get fired. Now, a bunch of companies were doing this, and in fact, this is interesting. We're going to talk about this in the next episode with Gina Carano. Disney fired her over, and she's suing and is actually advancing in her suit. This is huge news. For Mr. Beast to terminate this individual means he believes one of two things: that the financial damage that he would incur should he be wrong, less than financial damage he would incur when people not watching his videos or he loses all of his sponsors. Possibility. And a lot of money to lose. And Tyson can only sue for so much. Or He has seen enough that he feels has given him the legal defensibility to terminate Tyson without being at risk for any major lawsuits. I think the latter is true. I think Mr. Beast saw what everyone else saw, knows it's true, and so said, I have no problem firing this person. One of the allegations is that this Chris Tyson was a fan of someone called Shadman, who produces adult images of children, even of Keemstar's daughter. Disgusting. One of these drawings is on a wall in a video. I don't watch Mr. Beast, so I don't know that's the case, but that's one of the allegations. Mr. Beast, I'd imagine if that's true,
Greetings.
he sees that and he goes, crap, that drawing? Oh man. Because the drawing wasn't, like, adult activities going on. It's apparently a drawing, it's a cartoon character, but of a minor child, no pants on, and Mr. Beast may have been like, what is this? I think it's creepy either way, and I don't think it's an excuse. I think Mr. Beast knew exactly what was going on. So I have to wonder if what really happened was Mr. Beast was like, oh crap, people are bringing up the fact that we're sitting in a room and there's that drawing on the wall. Now I have this video. Another man claiming to be a victim, Mr. Beast co-host, collaborator, associate, Chris Tyson. And this is huge. Is YouTube going to tolerate this? Many creators, many channels have been demonetized and banned when things like this emerge. Now, many people have come and say it's not Mr. Beast. What happens? I mean, you already have one employee, Jake the Viking, saying Jimmy knew. Mr. Beast knew this was coming. Well, of course, Mr. Beast is so powerful. They're probably not going to do anything about it. Watch this video.
Tyson for Mr. Beast used me and manipulated and did very while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with GS at the time, who is the main victim of this that everyone has been talking about these last few days. Who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also cleared an NDA from when he was gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to sell Lava, who actually sent me the contract and tried to an NDA. At which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to sign. Me and him were both initially involved in running Chris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them.
Hey, what's up?
As well as other back-end things. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in.
This is important right here. 10 people. The argument from Lava GS, one of the victims saying, I'm not a victim, it was just a public Discord with edgy jokes. 10 people. That's like a private small room. That's not like an open chat room to the public.
Other than a giveaway, Chris invited him after that, and Chris invited me after I saw asking for help setting up a Gears mod server for the doing subscribers.
Let's pause right there as well. Chris Tyson, who is accused of being a groomer, I believe, and now Mr. Beast fired. Look, I want to be careful for legal reasons, but it sounds like Mr. Beast is confirming that he saw this stuff and that it's true. He's a 13-year-old in some kind of giveaway. A 15-year-old tweets at him, I need help, and so he's like, okay, yeah, let's be friends. Come join my Discord. If I'm sending him sexual jokes. Dude, that's wild.
This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Chris and playing video games for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of fun that I promise you guys to do, we can also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not going to bring up around it. Especially with him being like, we would even go as far as linking several different porn and hentai videos throughout the time of me talking.
Okay, for those who don't know, porn means porn, and hentai means drawings of cartoon porn.
Not only that, but he had an NSFW bot in his Discord server. So when it was private server, minors, and he would use this NSFW bot to spam different side. He would also frequently call me dad and daddy, as which I guess we all
Oh, let's pause right there. So here's a guy saying he's 15, reached out saying he wants to do some kind of mod server. I don't know. And what was it, Minecraft or something? I have no idea. And I'm too old. But then this man contacts this minor child, calling him daddy, and sending him pornography. Yo, that's illegal. That AG Andrew Bailey of Missouri on the show, and when we were talking to Scandal, he was like, "That's enticement of a minor. That's felony. That's 5 years in prison."
Gross. Kyra, get on your mat. Lay down.
We thought was the coolest in the world, so really wrong enough. But looking back, I was definitely give out an analogy. So this server later went. Or did that he spent days scrubbing this Discord server in words as well as his
Jeez.
as well as NSFW channels and making sure you don't see that spamming. This story is so much bigger and runs so much deeper than any of you realize, so hear more.
Yo, this is crazy. So I don't know if we have this from Drumler just basically saying Mr. Beast has broken his silence responding to the allegations. Yo, I gotta say this. I tweeted at Mr. Beast, I quote tweeted him, not I mean, he's got 30 million followers, I got 2. Chris Tyson clearly going through some kind of mental issue. He's online. He's getting entrenched and addicted to this weird pornography stuff. He's sending it to kids. At first, I thought was when he was suffering from these issues, and dysphoria, Mr. Beast defended everything about it. He said, "I'm sick of the transphobia. Leave my friend alone." This dude, at this point, Chris Tyson, could have been arrested. If what this kid is saying, this guy is saying is true, when he was 15. That Tyson was calling him daddy and sending him pornography. You know, I try to keep this one family friendly, but I'll give you my assessment. But and before I do, I'll say, Mr. Beast should not have defended this person. Knew what was going on, or something has been accused of knowing what's going on. Took no action. One former employee, alleged former employee, claimed that it was because Chris Tyson had dirt on Mr. Beast, and so Mr. Beast could not do anything about it.
What dirt?
Perhaps. Here's what I think. Why is this adult man calling this young boy daddy?
Because he's
Why is
disturbed.
this guy Chris Tyson supporting and engaging with a dude who makes drawings of little girls in adult compromising situations? I believe that Chris Tyson has an extremist paraphilia where he is aroused at the thought of himself being a.
Yep.
So if you look at everything we've seen so far, you have a guy who says he's trans and he wants to be a woman.
Sounds about right.
And there's a difference between the fetishists, paraphilia, and then the gender dysphoric.
Yes.
So there are many people that I've had on Timcast IRL who are not doing any of this stuff. They talk about gender dysphoria. That is a body dysmorphic disorder where you feel no different than anorexia. You look in the mirror and something's wrong. Chris Tyson, I believe, is another candidate. I do believe there's another form of Bill Mulvaney, which is the just getting plastic surgery to fit in and get popular. That's a different kind of personality. Chris Tyson is interacting with a guy who makes lewd drawings of children. Chris Tyson himself wants to be a woman that takes hormones. Chris Tyson also calls teenage boys daddy, as if these younger boys are in a domineering position above him. I think this guy has a fetish about wanting to be a.
You didn't pee
I
in
could
the
be totally wrong. I
closet,
don't
did
know.
you?
All I know
You're
is
not
you look
supposed
at how
to do
everything's
that.
lining up, and with him sending pornography and calling little boys daddy, and looking at or supporting this guy who makes this adult content of children, this dude clearly has some like overt fetish thing going on. And the crazy thing is, it's been years. People knew this was happening, and we're only just finding out now. Why was this guy being protected? And to that point, why is Mr. Beast still saying Ava? It's absolutely nuts. In fact, let me pull up the drama alert thing. Drama alert as let me see if I can find this. He says Kai Cenat is getting backlash for misgendering Chris Tyson. Kai Cenat speaks on Chris Tyson sending inappropriate text to a minor. He's weird, bro. It's effed up. It's weird. How do you know the age of someone knowing you're a grown-ass man and still move forward? I don't understand it. And someone said that misgendering on purpose is so gross. She's. Attack that she's a pedo, not her identity, please. No, I think it's fair to say these are, for one, they're all allegations. This, you know, for say this guy posting this video, maybe it's not true, right? He's saying that these things happen and we'll need some proof. Well, but my issue, however, is that Mr. B said he's seen enough to fire the person. I don't know how else you confirm things. If Mr. B's like, it happened, he's fired. How could you say, I don't know? Okay, fine. Well, I guess. I guess. My issue is this. We've had friends on the show, come on the show. We have friends of mine, they're trans. I will say sheer. Absolutely. I'm not like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's attitude is, in public, he said this somewhere, whatever. In public, if someone asked me, I'd say she, because if I said he, it'd be too confusing, I can't explain all this, but in writing, I'll say he. And I'm like, I half agree with Ben Shapiro. Half. Where need be, I will mention a person as male or female. If I'm trying to be polite and just freeze the conversation, I do agree with Ben Shapiro. She, her. I will not do that for Chris Tyson, whose name is Chris, C-H-R-I-S, who clearly does not fit the mold of someone who is a nice person who is suffering from sports disorder.
Chiron, get on your mat.
I don't know, I'm trying to be nice to, I guess. I try to be polite when I can, but I'm not a big fan of the pronouns. Mr. B still using this person's name, this fake name, I think is shocking. At this point, with enough information coming out, for Mr. Beast to say, I've seen enough online, meaning, outside the investigation, it's enough to terminate an individual. And that opens you to legal liability. He's saying outright, he's got enough evidence this is true, that he could not be sued or face damage. That's what he's saying. To still then be like, it's a predator named Chris. Stop defending these people. Yo, this is absolutely. But I gotta tell you, my friends, it's not surprising that YouTube, at the highest levels, has this stuff. Hollywood does. Why not YouTube?
Good day.
You gotta wonder about who's in control and what they really do. It's fascinating because for a while, you had this like QAnon adjacent stuff. I don't want to say QAnon because it's not just Q. There's a lot of people. We're saying that there's satanic pedophiles running the world. The media's like, oh, you're all nuts, you're all nuts. And then the Epstein thing turned out to be true. Yeah, we never got the answers. Now, running the world may be a bold statement, but certainly in positions of power. And so, in various parts of the world, there is leadership that we notice with Epstein.
Hello.
Then look at YouTube and you see what's going on with Chris Tyson, and everyone just kind of goes, yeah, you know, Mr. Beast probably, and they're only taking action now. People are starting to come out and make this. People are starting to come out with these things. Keemstar outright said he spoke with Tyson about sexually explicit drawings of his mother, years old. And Tyson did not apologize for supporting Shatman, this guy who produces this. I don't know how this stuff's legal. I don't know. It's disgusting. And it was part of the Mr. Beast sphere for a very, very long time. And when people got angry about affirming Chris Tyson, Mr. Beast defended all of it. Man, it is a wild, wild time. It's wow. It's just crazy that we're dealing with this stuff. We were talking about this the other night. There's a bunch of stories of trans people who are not gender dysphoric, they're fetishists, and they explain this. And I'm not trying to disparage people with gender dysphoria. I'm saying there are people who are outright saying they watch BDSM. And Rachel told me this, like, Rachel Wilson, sissy hypnosis, where they watch videos that use binaural beats to hypnotize them into telling them to be women. the weirdest thing I've heard. Man. Dude, I've been on the internet my whole life, and it's just fascinating that there are things even I don't know. I guess I'm not on 4chan enough, and all I do is read the news and Twitter. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I guess we'll see if this dude gets arrested. It sounds like sending porn to a 15-year-old, this guy. It sounds like he might be going to prison.
Alright, I got a mail room.
I don't know how it took this long. To be fair, though, there's a lot of people in Hollywood who have done worse things. They've gotten away with it from. I'm going to wrap this segment up here. Read Super Chats. For those that are watching still live, get your Super Chats in. And for everybody else, stick around. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. And then we're going to have Timcast Arrow tonight. Let's grab some of these Super Chats. Alright. Casual Trevor says, never trusted Jimmy. Now you call him James. For that matter. James is the Anglo version. Famous. Jimmy? Waffle Sensei says, type your Super Chats in the regular chat box and copy-paste them over. YouTube has a messed up autocorrect for these Super Chats. Interesting. Just because I'm racist, I need to updates on the ATV guy who ran over an 80-year-old Trump supporter in Michigan.
On your mat, Chiron.
Heard he got arrested and caught him. Bortone says, I find it hard to believe that Mr. Beast did not know of this. There are rumors he was looking to get rid of Chris, but couldn't due to legal issues. Justice for Sunny Beat. Priceless says, hey bro, first time catching your live show. I used to really dislike your show. Come to really like it. Appreciate your perspective. Just wanted to say I keep up the news. Okay, really appreciate it, man. Chief says, hi Tim, do you think there's a possibility that the deep state knows Trump will win and they will start World War III and Trump? Yes, 100%. We've talked about that. Our next segment, the next segment I'm lining up for you guys in a couple will be about Gina Carano beating Disney. And apparently she cried when she won. Shout out Gina Carano, you rock. I just watched Deadpool again on our flight back from Milwaukee. And it's crazy because she's in it. And she was great in it. Fun movie. And it's wild. She did nothing wrong. They're lying about what she did too. Correct. Mike Grosky says, any plans for an app for your membership? There is an Android app which you can use. The iPhone app is in limbo. We're not establishment players. We don't get the easy pass. The Apple app has been waiting for a very long time. I feel like they're going to find a reason not going to allow it. Based on the content of our show too, I just ban it anyway. Alright, the Heavy Hearts show says bad video of Mr. Beast came out today. From Chris.
Nice.
Need more information. What video? There's more information on this
I
one.
already
I'd like
had
to see
that one. Yeah, I did.
The Heavy Hearts show says sexual deviance is sexual deviance should not be glorified with regaling titles for certain stripes of degeneracy. Mr. Dextra says Chris is likely AGP, Tim. That's what it's called, autogynephilic. These are people who transition for sexual urges. But the trans community takes these people in while also casting them aside. It's very confusing. Yes, but I think if you look at the Shadman stuff, and again, I'm learning a lot of this now. We've talked about the AGP stuff before, but the Shadman thing, I would say it's probably the AGP. But Chris Tyson also likes being a little girl. Like, if he wants to be a woman and is calling boy daddy, and then asking for images of little girls doing little things, it's like
the man's got
AGP
issues.
fetish. But I don't know, look, man, I don't know. That's what it seems to me. It's kind of wild too because defamation law. There's something called defamation per se. If you accuse someone of something so egregious, they can sue you. So I don't know about what this guy is. I just want to make sure you understand these are all part of the allegations that are coming after other people that brought up.
Well, that was weird.
Stress this has said, I've seen enough. Out. So people accuse this guy of doing a thing. Mr. Beast goes, I've seen it. Fired. I feel like that's confirmation, isn't it? Mr. Beast is saying, like, I'm gonna stress that. Mr. Beast is so confident he's not gonna get sued over this. He fired the dude. Raymond G. Magastalin Jr. says, isn't using pronouns just enabling the dysphoria? You know, my point is, if there's a bad person doing bad things and they want to insult, ride, take away spaces, they get no respect from me.
Odd.
But if there's someone who's really trying, I'll try and be nice. I'll try and be nice. You know, I don't know. I don't think there's an easy answer. But I don't want to just... There's a few people, like 3 or 4 people that we usually bring up in this regard as transgender individuals that we're actually friends with, that are more right-leaning and more moderated in their political views. I don't want to just start naming them all and like, look, we have friends with. But I try to be nice. I try to be nice and accommodate them, even though they're guys, they're males. Because they're nice and they oppose a lot of things that are damaging family and all that. And so like, okay, well, you know, try your best. I don't like the idea of insulting and disparaging a person who is suffering a legitimate issue. Now, if someone's anorexic, I don't think you insult them. If someone's overweight, I don't like insulting them. To be fair, I wouldn't call a fat person skinny, so there are interesting arguments about why we would ever. We'll grab a couple more, and then we're going to read Gina Carano's. The Arctic Operator says, Tim, I want to thank you. I've been watching you for a few years now. I've grown to love your neutral view of things. Now your discussions seem to cover each side of a story. I suppose, but isn't it funny that it's like, for a while they were like, Tim Pool's a milquetoast fence sitter, and now I'm like, vote Trump or we... Like, I think that's indicative of reality. For a while it's like, you know, Trump's not perfect, they're like Tulsi Gabbard and Yang I like, but now it's like, no way, you can't go work that stuff. That's just... Let's talk about Gina Carano. Ladies and gentlemen, shout
many
out to
dumbs
Gina
out there.
Carano for winning. She has won a defeated the motion to kill her lawsuit. She's advancing. This is a massive victory in the culture war. Deadline reports, Gina Carano beats Disney's movie To Kill Mandalorian firing suit. Now trial looms. The Daily Mail has this. Gina Carano is moved to tears after judge rejects Disney's motion to dismiss her lawsuit over Mandalorian firing. What happened to me was unacceptable. Carano, 43, sued Disney for discrimination in February. She was fired from Mandalorian in 2021 after a controversial social media post. That's cancel culture. Let's talk about cancel culture. Here's the post. She wrote, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Quote, because history is edited. Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? All she said. Now take a look at what Daily Mail says. Carano had played Cara Dune, first 2 seasons of the hit show Mandalorian, which streams on Disney+. She was fired after she compared the treatment of Jews in Nazi Germany to conservatives in modern America in a social media post. Lied. She didn't. She said, don't demonize your neighbor.
Good
Nowhere
day.
in the post did it say conservatives are being persecuted. Jews. She said the Nazis got neighbors to hate each other and to persecute people.
Oh, I
Don't
thought that was
hate
a
people
ring.
for their politics. I could say the exact opposite. Gina Carano compared the treatment of Democrats to the Jews in Nazi. Because she's talking about everybody. There are people on the right, and people on the left, people on the left, and people on the right, and her message was, don't hate your neighbor. It is the powers that be that are driving you against each other. Amazing how this happens, right? This aired on Wednesday. Following the court ruling, she shared a lengthy Instagram statement as well as a clip from her 2021 interview with the Daily Wire. What happened to me was unacceptable, absurd, and abusive. Among other things, it should not have happened to me. And it should not have happened to anyone else moving forward. Let it stop here, she wrote. And I gotta tell you, Gina Carano, this is crazy. She was gonna be a star. They were setting her up to be an A-lister megastar. And I really do mean that. She's in Deadpool. She has a light role. Then she's in Mandalorian, a massive hit show, a prominent character. Disney was building up her profile. She was going to be headlining movies. She was going to be huge. And then she said, don't hate your neighbors. The left attacked her, and Disney said, you're done. And she didn't do anything wrong. Carano started out her statement by quoting the court's ruling. Court denies defendant's motion. She went on. I am moved to tears after a brutal 3.5 years. I am being given the opportunity to move forward in the court of law before the judge and my peers to clear my name. I am so grateful for this opportunity. I quite literally fought to get where I got to in my career through intense ups and downs. And I'll keep up that fight to continue doing what I love. I appreciate all of you who stood by me and defended me. And I am so sorry that similar situations have happened to some of you. I want you to know that I see you and I stand with you. To clarify what I was saying is, her career track was to be a megastar. With her getting her roles, she was doing, I'm going to be completely honest, her skills were improved. She was doing a better and better job. She was doing a tremendous job in Mandalorian. I liked the show. And then they decided to nuke her career. She was speaking out, that's why. I don't think it was this one post. I think they fired her because she was outspoken. She also thanked the owner of X, Elon Musk. Thank you to Elon Musk, a man I've never even met, who so graciously gave me a fighting chance. Thank you for standing for justice for all of humanity. May God bless you and your family for years to come, because he has chosen you for the time as this. Gina also shared a clip from her 2021 interview with Daily Wire's co-founder Ben Shapiro, 40, I don't know why they put his age, writing that she was at my lowest point. I was wounded and in so much pain, but I feel that pain lifting now. I pray for justice to shine through this case. It's been one heck of a life. I'm looking forward to getting back to the art of storytelling and doing my part to help the world heal. So thank you all. I'm sure it will be quite a battle ahead. God's given me the ability to take some punches and give some back. My feet are on solid ground. Imagine what your voice can do. Man, shout out to Gina Carano. Man, I'm excited to hear this. Disney sucks. This is a ridiculous move they made, but we are going to win this culture. We're going to tell them you can't do this. Now let's talk about cancel culture. This is cancel culture. What did she do wrong? They were lying. They said she compared conservatives to Jews. No, she didn't. She said don't hate your neighbor. Who would disagree? Why disagree with that? Right now, there were a lot of people celebrating and calling for the death. One guy got arrested, calling for the death of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. He did not explicitly say he was going to do anything. He said he wanted others to do it. And this is what I say. These people on social media that are losing their jobs because they're calling for the death of the president, or I should say former President Trump and frontrunner, calling for his death, and everyone's like, we shouldn't target little old ladies who work at Home Depot, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. We're not talking about someone who said don't hate your neighbor. We're talking about people who are saying to kill. And they're getting fired from their jobs for saying it. If there's no social consequence for calling for murder, then we're in for a world of trouble. We need a standard. Now, in my world, and how I view things, broad brush. If someone comes out and says they hate Donald Trump, should be locked up, he's a criminal, I say, well, you know, they can say that. Broad brush. A lot of leeway. When you advocate anybody should be murdered, now I'm like, you sit down and say it on your own time, but not on someone else's stuff. I agree with that being a manful offense. Calling for or advocating saying someone should be killed. No problem with saying advocacy for murder, death, and violence. I have no problem with that being
unacceptable.
The issue with cancel culture is they destroyed the career of Gina Carano because she said don't hate your neighbor. What they really didn't like is that she was conservative or conservative-leaning person, and she was outspoken online. They could have Disney could have said, why don't you just take it down and be more careful? Don't want to be our bad. I think the reason is Disney is actually a bunch of woke individuals as well, who also did not like the fact that Gina Carano was conservative. She got these jobs. They then realized, hey, this lady is right-leaning. That's cancel culture. If some woman at Home Depot posted a thing saying, for the Nazis, blah, blah, just like she did, I'd say, why would you fire her? There are people who lost their jobs because they donated to Calvin. There are people who lost their jobs for saying they supported Donald Trump. There are people who lost their jobs for wearing MAGA hats. That's cancel culture. I hope she wins. I hope she wins a lot of money. I don't see how she ends up getting her career back and making millions of dollars or anything. She might win a lot of money from Disney, but I don't see her coming back to this show or other shows. I do wonder money, what she would do. I'll tell you this. I've been in a couple labor lawsuits in my day. And I remember one where this one company, I got to be light in the details due to a company that I worked for had taken some illicit actions. Our paychecks were short. As many of you know, Asian. And so, like, I'm really good at math. I'm allowed to say that, by the way, I think. I am part Asian, so I can do math pretty well.
It's good at
So
the
I'm
maths.
kidding, by the way, calm down. But I get my paycheck, I look at it, and right away, no, wrong. And I ask my friends, hey, your paychecks. They're like, and I look at their paychecks and I go, wrong. I go to the boss and I say, our checks are wrong. Like, what do you mean? I said, our checks are wrong. Look, I'll do the math for you. 10 seconds. I said, here's our commission, here's our hourly rate. And they went, oh, I'm sorry. It happens sometime. We'll get fixed right now. They can print checks. They print a check, and to me, here are your new checks, guys. I go, wrong. And they go, what? And I'm like, it's wrong. But what do you mean it's wrong? I was like, it was short 60, now it's short 20. It was short like 61 something. Now it's short like 22 something. They're like, it is? And I was like, yes! I did the math already. And I looked at my friends, and they're like, oh, geez. They print the correct checks. I did some research, looked at my friends. They had been shorted before. And apparently this company was notorious for the whoopsie-daisy strategy of cutting corners. Underpay your staff, and if they don't notice, problem. And if they do, it's a whoopsie-daisy. So we had some complaints that escalated. I went to the National Labor Board, and I said, here's everything I've collected. And they went, wow, okay. He immediately got fired. Director flew out and said, you can't do this stuff, you can't talk about this stuff, you're all being left. I laughed. It was funny because my friend started mouthing off, and I said, shut up, stop talking. The labor board, then here's what happened, and they said, you're suing on your... After about 3 months of us waiting, they came back and said, we can have your job back or back there. And I was like, wait, there's no punitive damages for what they did, they broke the law. And they were like, no, you've won, get your job back, get retro pay, and fire me the next day. And they're gonna find some reason to do it. She was like, that's not my problem. I was like, if they retaliate, then you can get them in trouble. I was like, they'll just claim they're shutting the office, then they'll find a reason to fire me. She was, then take the retro. We got paid a couple grand each, to get our jobs back. There was no penalty. Ridiculous. If Gina Carano wins, and they say, welcome back to Mandalorian, within one episode, it would be the most ridiculous show ever. Cara Dune is like, I am back from my home planet. What's that? And there's an explosion. And then Pedro Pascal goes, oh no, they killed her. And then it just plays that in credits and it's like, Cara Dune is dead. They're allowed to do that. Not retaliation, that's what we wrote for a character. So all she could really do is get retro pay. But hopefully, with the scale of this and the lawsuit for discrimination, she takes it way further than that and actually wins punitive in some degree. I don't know if punitive is actually in this regard. I hope she does succeed. So I hope she wins. Shout out to Gina Carano, and I'm glad to see this victory. I'm looking up. I think we're going to win this culture. It's not a done deal. We just have to make sure we're registering all our friends to vote. But we don't let them steal this one. And we have to create culture. I'll wrap it up there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/tipcastirl. Thanks for hanging out tonight. And for everybody else, we will grab some super chats. I love this. Someone who chatted that says, Tim has mentioned Jerez, no kid. Tim has mentioned several times that he's of Asian descent. Very cool. I know. Like Japanese. I only learned I was part Japanese recently. 5%. Only a little bit. That means I have the right to like anime. The rest, 20%, is Korean. I guess that means I'm allowed to eat kimchi or something. I like kimchi though.
Hello.
Yo, Korean barbecue is it. I don't know how anyone can hate Korean barbecue. Like for real, they just turn the stove on in front of you and you run. I went to this one place called what was it called? K-pop or something? Milwaukee. Awesome. You sit down, you order on a tablet. They just within 5 seconds, there's a bunch of meat on your table, and you throw it in and you cook it. I love that stuff. And then I get the kimchi and the radish, and you wrap it up. Everybody loves Korean barbecue. Nobody can deny it. All right, we'll grab a couple super chats before we sign off. Ladies and gentlemen, John Hensley says, Carl Higby just did a crazy segment on unaccountable money donations to Act Blue. Crazy. Like your take. I do believe we talked about it a while ago when James O'Keefe wrote the story. He wrote it a while ago, actually. I think we'll bring it up and we'll see if we can get some answers from some APs. Big 7588 says, to Google a particular image from Shadman to see the picture, and I do not recommend anyone do any of that stuff. Why would you want to see children in these positions? That's
Testing.
not interested. Alright, GH says, let's be real. How many years off are we from adding the P to LG? It has to be coming. They tried that. They legit tried that a while ago. That's why they do the map thing. Minor attractive person. It's disgusting. Let's go. Wizard of Oz says, how does a militia function without calls to gather for militia activities? Not protected by
But a
the
lot of disgusting people in this world.
What do you mean? It is protected. Tons of militia. X88 says, we're getting a K-pot in my town in a couple months. Excited for it. I got a boba, Thai tea, bubble tea, and then we got steak, and the bulgogi is the marinated one, so, you know. But I just like pork belly, fry it up, you cut it up, and then I like the sweet chili sauce or the spicy chili sauce. I don't know who could hate Korean barbecue, because they just give you meat and you cook it and it's meat.
That's great.
Alright, I'll grab one more super chat. Ed08 says, the other day you said you hated a bunch of spices used in pho. What's your take on half my people's greatest dish? Pho is gross, I don't like it. My friends are like, do you want to get pho? And I'm like, absolutely not. Never gonna happen.
I love pho.
Cilantro, anise, fennel, caraway, illegal. When I become Supreme Chancellor, my first action will be to ban all of these things.
Yes.
And rosemary gets a pass.
I love
the other ones I really don't like. Blech. Caraway seeds. Ooh. No. Celery. Also don't like. I'm kidding. You guys are allowed to have it. I wouldn't ban it. People are allowed to like it. Alright, my friends, I'm gonna wrap things up. Smash that like button. One like equals one fight, fight, fight. Become a member at timcast.com to support our work directly. Timcast IRL will be back. We're going to have clips up from this show. So this is what we're doing. I record for 2 hours. I record 3 special clips. They're going to go up at 1, 4, and 6. It's been a smashing,
baby.
And live is substantially fun. And here's the crazy thing, too, is the live is resulting in more subscribers, and it's just all around better. So share the show if you do like it. And maybe YouTube would like to unshadow ban this channel. I'm shadow banned. But the morning show's been doing really, really well. We're hitting between 24,000 viewers peak in the 2-hour morning live show. It's a much more fun show for me to do. It may be a bit more difficult in times of lighter news, but in reality, I must add, it may be easier in some regard too when I can just interact with the audience and the super chats actually assist in sending midstream when we're able to pull that. So thank you all so much for hanging out for this morning show. Currently, we're about 19K viewers and wrapping this up. So we should have, y'all should be smashing that like. And we'll see how things go in the future, but I'm really excited. Next few months, hopefully, Trump wins. And if he does, then it's going to be an amazing next 4 years for a variety of reasons. The media will binge and whine and cry. Trump will generate massive attention for media channels. It will be a blossoming economy. If Trump wins, the media attention alone, cable networks are going to love it. Their views are going to be in the tens of millions. Same thing is true for us. I'm going to like it because Trump's going to fix the economy. And that doesn't matter if you're getting more views or not. You're going to have better ad sales, and it's going to make everyone's lives better. You'll be able to pay more, food will be more affordable. That's what I think. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. We'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thank you all so much for...
Tyrone. Oh, you're at Atlas, okay. Let's watch some double.
104 adoptions so far, 58 dogs, 45 cats, and 1 bunny rabbit. All possible because of you. Today is the next to last day of Empty the Shelters, where I've been trying all week get these dogs and pets adopted. You've been showing up to watch the video or showing up at the shelter. I have to thank you. You all have shown up in a big way, whether it's watching these videos every day or everyone that showed up to actually meet me. I am so exhausted. We've been working so hard. The entire Animal Friends of the Valleys team has been working so hard, but I am equally inspired after getting to shake hands with so many of you, reading so many of your comments, seeing all of your shares. We are saving pets together, and that makes me so happy. And we're actually on pace to empty the entire shelter. I've never been able to do that before. So all of these pets are going to go to loving homes if we can actually achieve this. And I believe we can if you all keep showing up every day. Remember, only 3 days left to get your limited edition Cool Bean shirt. After that, it's gone. And a special thanks to YouTube for covering the 20% discount because they just really love what we're doing. That discount's on the Cool Bean merch or any Flip coffee, including the new cold. Remember, when you drink Flip coffee, it helps support the dog rehabilitation that we're doing on my farm, Flip's Farm, where we're growing the coffee, rehabilitating dogs like me. Thank you. Sit with the dog. Okay, look at this dog. What do you see? You see a dog that's not very confident, obviously, and scared and looks scary almost, right? It's because of that slinky where he's trying to get out of his own skin. You can feel the discomfort and the fear. If you look closer, you can see a dog really pretty, maybe young. Look at those beautiful, dramatic eyes. With a little confidence, this guy could go a long way. I bet we can help. Let's find out. So I went out to grab a team so that we just help make the area a little quieter. We put some of the dogs out in the play yard because it was just so noisy that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere. The stress would have been so hard. I just wanted to make sure I grabbed a blanket. I don't want to take any of his space. Her space hits his blue. He's got a blue tin collar on it that they put his ID number on. I'm guessing it's a boy. They turned around here and just had to do something. I'll do that over there. It's okay.
I give Rocky a little bit of a pass because he had a stroke a few years ago, so
I heard that
he might have difficulty saying heterochromia.
They just feel like that.
That's probably why.
They just want out in a way so bad. We're gonna see what we can do to help. I don't know where to go here. I'm gonna try some treats. And normally I'll just do like a small portion that I'll break off. But I'm gonna try a big piece here because I've got to do something to just right away try to work this one out of their situation. I didn't mean to do that. If he can make himself small enough, he can roll it that way. I'm trying to get water a lot of here. It's not ideal having a dog behind my back this much, but I think it might make him feel a little more comfortable. I'm just watching him closely. There we go. Okay, that's good. He's interested in that treat. You can see him. No, he didn't take it. Yeah. It might be too big. I'm gonna try to break it up. Oddly enough, he might. I call it like a moment where he may take it to my hand. Let's see. See, I should have got back up. If he goes back over there, I'm gonna move that water back to that thing. Actually, I think I'll get smaller. I'm not comfortable sitting down at here right now, but I definitely want to get smaller. Just thinking about the treats, I wonder, and we'll talk about it, because I think it's important to be able to go work with dogs in this state. I don't know if it's kind of a cross between just maybe tired and feeling like, you know, who am I to do this? We're doing this big week where I'm trying to get every pet adopted in the shelter. And I was certain we could do it. And I still am, but like I would not be honest if I wasn't saying, like, there weren't some doubts coming in today to the shelter. And, you know, if you've ever had, what do they call it? I think it's imposter syndrome. Maybe I think professionally, but where you go, I can do this, but who am I to do this, right? And I fear, or I feel like I might have carried that in here with me. And dogs know, you know, like sometimes I see some of your comments where you'll say, "Oh, don't say the word bad," or whatever, because you know that's not good for the dog. Above all else, they can learn, but above all else, they're reading tone, and they're reading so much more. All of the cues that we should be paying attention to as humans, that we do sometimes, almost subconsciously, it's the communication that is not. And like, if my confidence isn't there, that I can do this, that we can do this, because you are here with me, why would he feel comfortable? It's probably okay that I'm feeling this way. It's okay if you're ever feeling that way. And it's not just like, well, I'm going to go to the shelter. It's, can I do this job? Am I a good enough friend? Family? Can I help my community? A good enough artist? Count? A gamer? Whatever it is.
Or
You are
original
and
gangster.
I hope to tell him,
Yo.
if he opens up enough, he is good enough. And let's try to bring him out of hiding. Because you know what? Thank you. I feel better even just talking about it. Sitting with dog / therapy for Rocky. Okay, so I got to get him out of this spot. I can't see him. I'm actually going to move over here to then move back over here so that I can see his movements. Because I got to get that water bowl so that I can go up against the back of the kennel. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here to kind of act as my rear view mirror, so I can see him. I'm going to try to get him to come behind me.
You realize that nobody really knows what the hell they're doing, and we're all just kind of winging it. Imposter syndrome goes away.
I know, with striking eyes, though. Just watching, see, make sure there's no knock with his lips. I don't like taking things away from dogs in these states, but I gotta get to a state where I can give him some comfort. I'm not asking anything of him. I'm just going to try to get him in a position where he can relax. I tried throwing him a big piece of treat. I gave him a little piece, but I'm gonna try to give him a bigger piece, see if there's enough distance.
Whoops. Gonna fly it first. Da-da-da-da.
Ask. Now we're okay. I was gonna go back to the other side. This side will be just fine. This will be just fine. Yeah, that's great. Now we're in a spot where we can both just breathe.
Dude.
Yes.
Can you move to the front? You feel comfortable enough?
Yes.
That's good. Checking things out, sniffer working. These are good things. These are really good things. And you in that waterfall. It is tough because a dog in this situation, like, they don't have much, and so even with him, he's clinging to a water ball. It's the only thing he has. He is so stunning.
Be right back.
I can't get very long glimpses at him, or it makes him really puts the heat on him. But wow, wow. Why do dogs get kids? I feel like he's like a husky and a shepherd. He's definitely, oh yeah, he's a Shepsky. I bet. Shepherd and a husky. German shepherd and a husky. I don't know. Maybe more German shepherd, maybe more husky. What do you think? He's ready now. When he regains his confidence, he will be stunning. He's already stunning. When that confidence comes in too, it's okay. Relax. Sorry, I just want out of here. I just want out. Done. Take me home. It just hurts me because there's a certain sadness about him. Like some dogs, it's fear or anxiety. And with him, there's just a sadness. Like you can just tell the way he puts his face and his eyes down and he just kind of sinks into the floor. He just wants to disappear. I may be reading the situation completely wrong. Because fear can do wild things to all of us. But do you see it? I feel it. That's one of the things when sitting with a dog is like, some of it just, I don't know if it comes across on camera like I would hope it would. I hope you can feel it like I can feel it because it just makes me sad. But you know what? That's the thing. Again, we're not here to be sad. I'm shutting off because I'm here for you. I'm here for him. Says, hi. We're going to figure this out together. We're going to get his story. I think that might tell us a lot to kind of figure out behavior. Let's see if we can. Let's get you out there, buddy. I wish if he took treats, that would be a lot easier. See what I mean? Some of the dogs are so excited. Now you understand excitement when they're willing to take a treat. Well, a lot of times it's because, so jumpy. A lot of times it's because I just know that I can work more. He's off water bowl. So, we almost spilled it like 3 times. I know he's trying to dive into that water bowl, isn't he? I'm gonna put up a little blocker here. My hand. Yeah, this way, relaxing. Just put up a small roadblock. Alexis, have you had a chance yet to look up his info in the system?
Yeah.
Great, okay. I'm just being captivated by the stunning eyes right now. Like, one of them is as bright as my shirt. This is the limited edition bean shirt. I have this one, and I have one that's only good for this week of sitting with dogs for Empty the Shelters. I've teamed up with Animal Friends of the Valleys, this shelter here in Southern California, and YouTube even heard about us trying to get all of these pets adopted. They say, we want to be involved. So they're offering discount, which is crazy. They're covering it. So go get something now because it doesn't come from me, it comes from them. So that's great. We can keep using these funds to help more dogs. And you can get our special bean cold brew coffee. And I'm talking about it a lot right now because this week is more important than ever. All these initiatives that we're doing are going to help get all of these pets adopted to shelter, which is the goal that I'm going for. The whole team shelter, everyone's going for it. Everyone's working so hard. I just am blown away by the staff at Animal Friends of the Valleys and the volunteers, my team, and you guys showing up every day for these videos, for these lives. We will get him adopted. As sad as he is right now, just know that we're going to do whatever it takes to find him. Okay. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. What, microchip?
No microchip, no collar, nothing like that.
It is a he, right?
It's a mini.
Okay, so stray?
Stray, kind of.
I don't know if they have a section for stray, kind of.
So the reason why I'm saying kind of is because Animal Control received a call yesterday from a family.
So he's fresh.
Yes.
No wonder.
And he wasn't at home. There's just no microchip in the call or anything. They received that call, and the family told them we have a vicious and dangerous dog. I don't trust this dog around our family. Just going off on how this dog is not.
Interesting, okay. Vicious?
Yes.
My goodness, okay.
Said it was a vicious dog. It was a vicious dog. It was all that.
Doesn't look vicious to me. Looks like a doggo.
I'm not Okay, tell me more. I'm not seeing that, so I'm a little surprised by that, but okay.
Animal control went to go to the home to take the dog because they take calls very seriously.
Yeah.
When someone says that, it's,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
have to.
public safety.
Yep.
They saw this guy and
Hello.
they
No.
grabbed him. He was the sweetest, apparently, according to them, said the sweetest boy
Yeah.
ever. So this is just a rumor that I just heard around.
Okay.
So, but it's rumored that they lied about the dog being vicious just so that animal control would take this, you know, puppy that requires a lot of work, time off of their hands.
Gosh, that's frustrating. And I've seen it before, right? I've gone on lots of ride-alongs with animal control, and like sometimes people are so just over these dogs. They'll call animal control, oh yeah, vicious or bit me or whatever.
Easy to
They don't
lie.
take the time to bring the dog to the shelter.
We got no moral
Or
compass.
they feel guilty. What they don't understand is one, that's
Well, just lie.
the end of the line for a dog. If you make up that story because the shelter has, some shelters, they have policies, and a lot of shelters across the US that are just overfilled, they're not going to work with a dog that is vicious or has a bit that has to be in the record, and so that's the end of the line. Thank goodness the team here is amazing, and they made their own assessment. And come on, and maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe he got into a situation where his never get done wrong. But maybe he was coming across as vicious. He was protecting food and being territorial. I don't know. You know, what do you think? I guess I pass it off to you. I'll reserve judgment, and you tell me, look, this dog, if you think that family made it up, if you think he is vicious and violent and bites, tries to bite. So I'm not letting my frustration make things up. No, it didn't say bite, right?
No bite.
Tried to bite or just violent?
They just said it was violent. It was vicious.
Vicious.
Is what I heard. No bite or anything on the record
Okay,
at all.
that's
Because it's out here and it is adoption.
okay, great. Yeah, because they said they don't want it. Normally, the shelter, if it's owner known, they have to hold the dog for 10 days, but because the owner's already relinquished him a name,
That we know.
yeah, so like, oh, he's so vicious. What's his name? Oh, we don't get. We did that thing. Let's try and give him some treats. Thank you for putting him out there for a little bit. He got up because another dog came out. We to reduce the noise, we put some of the dogs out in the play area. I think we mentioned that. But it's hot, so they can't stay out there too long. And so yeah, so he was really happy about the other dog coming in. To try friendly with other dogs. Oh yeah, look at him perk up. The dog, he's a dog kind of dog. You know what I think
I
would
bet
be a
that
really
dog-
good name for him that he could
No.
grow into
Hey,
is
that's just being silly,
K-I-K-O,
guys.
which means joy or happiness in Japanese. I don't know if that's the actual Japanese word, but like, you want to check me and just make sure that's right. Make sure it doesn't mean like sandwich or something like that.
No, it is for a girl.
Oh yeah. Well, let's not do that. What's another name, a boy name that would mean joy or happiness? Because I want a name that he can grow into. You know. Yeah. He's got a lot of room for growth, and it's no surprise that he was so sad, right? Because people would fail him. Imagine you're sitting there, you're scared, you don't know what's going on, maybe you don't feel very loved, and someone calls someone over and says, yeah, take this person, they're you know, lashing out at me all the time. They're really sad, right? He has nothing. But we aim to change that, and especially in this moment, we're going to give you something, and it's going to start with a name that you can call your own, and you'll have that. We don't have a family yet. That's going to come soon, but we're going to start you with a name. It's one of those things where it's just so important, and even if we've got to take a little time to get it right, I think it makes sense. I mean, my name's Rocky, right? So I give a lot of value to a name.
Good day.
When I was born, I was lucky enough
Yes.
to be named by Antinona Bina of Lahaina in Hawaii. I was born in Hawaii, and I was given the name Ekanaka Kekula. And I take that with great honor and responsibility. And what that does is allows me to really take pause when giving a name. Because I've seen before someone given a name, good or bad, that they can grow into.
I know that Felix means have the unfortunate.
I do like that. He does look like a Felix, doesn't he? He's like, it's my mom. I usually try to do the paw touch with some treats, and he's not having that. So instead, I'm just going straight in for the paw touch. I do want to give you some positive affirmations because I think you deserve that. Felix, you're a good boy. I don't know what they said about you, but I got to tell you something, Felix. I can see it. I can see inside you the love and the happiness and how courageous and brave you are. Whatever happened to you, them calling the authorities on you and fabricating things and having you hauled away, it's not your fault. Sometimes people do bad things and they shouldn't. We end up paying the price for that. But I'll tell you this much. You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Felix. You're a good boy.
It's like, am I?
Good boy, Felix. This is a good boy. Yeah. This is a good dog. Yeah. You see that? He let me make like full-on eye contact.
Can I
with
pet that dog?
That registered. Good boy, Felix. The other thing you'll notice is he's really tired. If he's wanting to fall asleep, I'll bet if I can get some pets on him, he'll get to fall asleep because he likely hasn't gone to sleep yet. He's what, 24 hours, you think, something like that?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So he probably hasn't gone to sleep yet, just out of fear. You're a good boy, Felix. Felix, you're safe from here, and we're gonna find you a family that'll never make up another story about you, buddy. Yeah, so good boy. We're not so bad. Let's go. Keep one hand over here. Okay, we got one just right here. Good boy, Felix. Good boy. You want a treat? You want a treat, good boy? You're a good boy, Felix. You're a good dog. You are? You're a good dog. Yeah. You're a good boy. Yeah. I like those little ears working. They're like little sonars. He's not in a state to just let me touch all over him. But he's in a state now that's calm enough to receive that love and affection, which is awesome. Felix, you're a pretty boy. You're a good boy, Felix. Good boy. Good boy, Felix. You're a good dog. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good boy, Felix. Yeah. He's a good boy. Yeah. He's a good boy. He's like, what is it? Like, kind of feel nice. I like that. You like that? This is a good boy. You want a treat? You want a treat? No, okay, that's okay. You don't have to have a treat. He's a real nervous dog, understandably, especially because he just came in. Oh, I saw a tail wag. Wait, how old is he?
He's only about 5 months old.
Okay, yeah, he's
Oh, yeah, there's a
You
pupper.
can see the little puppy coming in out of now. I don't know if I saw that initially because I was just so focused on, watching all of his behavior. I show him what you're doing. He's like, I'm gonna get out of here. He tries to find any small space. He does need some grooming with here. You can kind of see the area right in his mouth. I'm sure they weren't grooming him. Because he's a puppy, he still looks so fresh. If he was an older dog, you'd be able to see the signs. Is Mel here right now? You think we could see if we could get her Trent maybe tomorrow or something to get him a bath? I bet he would feel so much better after a bath.
Well, yeah, we can try and get him.
What's your hesitation? If any.
Just, I don't know.
Alexis hesitates because it's hard. And a lot of times people will say, well, just like, what do you mean? Like, give every dog a bath, groom them all. But the thing is, and this is the case at most shelters, they don't have the resources. If there are hundreds of pets here at any given time, and a groom takes on average, what would you say? Like, well, he just need a bath.
It would be only like maybe 30 minutes, but 30 minutes out of the staff member to handle walks.
Well, and getting the dog, bringing the dog back. So,
If they're scared too, it takes even longer.
at minimum, an hour. I'd say average is probably 2.5 to 3, especially if you're dealing with dog needs a But perfect
It's a
opportunity
triage
to
system.
do. This is where you can go volunteer, so that you can help little bugs like this. So you can
Alright,
get
got
that
4.
cute face right there.
I
You get
will
to spend
take that.
time with that cute little face. You have a cute face, Felix. You know it too, don't you?
Got a lot of
No, you
face.
don't. Yeah, that's the sad part. But this guy right here, Felix, because he's so young too. Like, if you adopt a dog like this, oh my goodness, let me tell you, it will change your life. Because there's something about
Because you get
shelter
the
dogs where they just know, like, they just appreciate you so much more because of the love that you gave them. It's like they understand. It's like they get it. You know, look at this guy. One day he'll get it. He'll get it. Huh? It's okay. He's a good boy. You want to play scratch? These dogs don't like getting their bum touched. Other times it feels really good. That feel good? Yeah. You like that? Yeah, it's good. Okay, good boy. Oh, you want to sit down for that? Okay, you can do that. You can do that? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that sounds good. Get backing into it. We might have found the spot. Okay. Want to check it out? Yeah, you can check me out here. There you go. There you go. You can see that confidence building a little bit. But if you get a dog like this, you just have to be prepared that, you know, he might hide. Like, he might go to the hiding spots for months. And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It likely isn't going to last forever. And I would almost encourage it. And
You're just a
like,
pupper.
one of the best ways if you're fostering or you adopt a dog like this is just ignoring
Lay down, Cairo.
it's weird because it's within us to want that love and admiration back from the dog. But if you just let go of that, don't take it personally, you don't take offense, which is really hard sometimes. When you try to do something nice for them, they flip out or go hide or whatever. But you don't take it personally and you let them come to you. Wow, it's cool. It's cool to see. And if you have another dog, that helps even more. Then it shows them how to be a dog. Like, you may not know how to be a dog. Especially if the people that had them before can't imagine they were taking them on walks and this ferocious puppy.
Ferocious. Ferocious. Ferocious, atrocious.
Joyful and you're happy. That's why those positive affirmations are so important, because we can just help give him that happiness and that courage and that joy. You know what would give him so much confidence too is his walking. I'm gonna try something here for a minute. But let's see if we can get him to go on a lead for me for a minute, and then we can show that to
Come on.
the dog walking team and see if we can get him a ball, because he's released now, right? So there's no reason to put him outside of just his, you know,
Get out of my way.
Oh.
No, we could be a dog walking camp.
Let's try both. But if I had to pick one, with the resources being limited right now, if we can get him walking, then we work.
Agreed.
Let me see if I can leash him up now, just to see how he reacts to that. Let's try this. Okay. I'm going really slow. Really slow, but I'm going really slow. So initially what I do is I just kind of invite him to smell the leash, or then check it out, so it's just less fear. Let me just go real loose. We're gonna allow him, if he wants to back out, to squirm. Like, there's no, not even putting any tension on it right now. I built a little trust to assure him that this is still okay. Since it turns out he is not a vicious, ferocious animal.
Well, he's just a pooch.
I try that butt
He's
scratch
a pooch
again.
pooch.
For how good that felt. Bro, you were there? You still remember now? We're gonna try. Now we're gonna do just the 2 fingers, right? Not much tension at all. Just a little pressure. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Felix. Yes, a good boy. Yay. Yes, a good boy. Yay. Bubba. And that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Good boy, Felix. These little movements right here are really fantastic. Really fantastic.
Alright guys, I think that's it for today.
I'm just going in
Hey,
a direction.
get back up there, Atlas.
Watch. There you go.
As always,
That's good. Good
it's been
boy,
real, it's been
Felix.
fun.
Good boy. Come on, bud.
It's been
That's a good
real
boy, Felix.
fun.
He's ready. Yeah, he's ready for sure.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
You're ready for sure.
Deuces.